Hello my friends, welcome back. My name is Tumitladi and let's go to our agenda. Now on our agenda we covered please go and watch part 1 and part 2, right? I still need to figure out what is part 2, but we are still busy with a mini series called trials and subscriptions feature, right? We are done with this guy and now we will talk about part 3 of linking MVC with what API. Stay tuned for this. So like I said, this is a problem statement and then there's a proposed solution. So please go and watch part 1, part 2. So in a previous video, I am authenticated with one of the accounts. And now one of the things that you're gonna see here is a link that says trial. You can only see this link if you are authenticated and you belong to a right group of authorization, right? So if I tap on it, it's gonna show me information about this trial. So this trial was it expired 7 months ago, but the idea with this mini series is that it needs to check if the trial is still active. And like I said, I want you to stay tuned because I'm gonna use an account where we're gonna activate a trial and I want you to pay attention to it, right? Alternatively, when it comes to subscriptions or packages, we can check the current subscription details. As you can see, it's active. And there's the same similar thing here to say Sonia, it's an example. Sonia went with a subscription. She's happy with the trial. She likes the content on Lessons and Tips platform. And now she went ahead and activated trial at 13:55 Friday. It's supposed to end when Thursday 13:55. That's 7 days later, right? But what we are saying is we need to keep on checking if it's still active and when it's gonna expire. You see, subscribe with this account for Lexus. It was activated 2 days ago. It's supposed to expire in, well, this is 10 days. It's supposed to expire in 10 days, 20 hours, 19 minutes and 4 seconds. I'll make a video about this some other time, not now. But I just want to show you. Firstly, let's go and link MVC with Web API for part 3 and see how this works. How do we read this data? Good. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stop this guy from debugging. And then it's fine, let's remove that. So I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna say multiple projects, right? Now this multiple projects, I know for sure. Let's see. You see? It's both API and MVC, right? But what I care about is this. This guy, remember, it's gonna call, if I show you the URL, well, I know, it's gonna call this controller V1 identity folder login V1 controller, and there on the login, but we want this one trials and subscription. I believe this is where it's gonna you know what I'm gonna do? I wanna set a breakpoint here. Yes, because I know it's gonna hit this breakpoint. So let's run these both projects. There we go. So I'm gonna copy this guy. I want us to move to this one here. Oh, this one's already running. So this is the Web API locally, and this one it's MVC, right? To prove this is a Web API that's running locally, I'm just gonna go Swagger, and he knows what to do. So there we go. Good. Because what is going to hit is going to be this guy. You see, this is the endpoint that MVC is going to be hitting this guy. What this guy expects is going to be the API key. It's very important. It expects 200 or a better request. That's the only thing they expect. So this is where it's going to go. I know because I built the system. Good. So now we're going to go back to login. And then I'm going to use this account again. And then it's gonna hit the breakpoint for login. Let's wait for it. There we go. It hit the breakpoint. Now I'm gonna do this. Good. So I'm gonna do exactly what I did in part 2. For you to follow along, we were busy looking at line number 92 in part 2. So I'm gonna go again, and then I'm gonna set a breakpoint here, and then we're gonna hit it, and then we're gonna go. You see, I'm still inside MVC, right? I'm gonna go. If I do this, oh no, it's not gonna work. The reason being, it's because this one's a production one. Oh no. Oh, it's a production one. I'm sorry, it's a production one because the address went to the actual production one. Okay. Okay, and the problem is I don't know the web API by head for us to be able to do this, but I want to simulate this guy. Okay, but it's fine. I'll sort it out. So what you were supposed to have done, it's fine, I can let this guy run. What you were supposed to have done, it was supposed to got inside this endpoint, right? This one checks the state of trials and subscriptions and change their state. You see, that's a keyword, and change their state. Like I said, you're gonna love this, right? So this is what we need for documentation purposes, right? It's gonna return both the 200 or either 200 or 400, which is better request. So what we are saying, we are decorating this guy to say, listen, we want to allow anonymous, right? Because the user is not yet authenticated. And there's going to be HTTP post, and there's going to be the URL or the URI for it to be accessible. Like I said, we're expecting 200, we're expecting 400 better requests. Better requests will tell us what is the problem, right? So here's the thing. There's a public asynchronous task, right, of action result. This is the guy that will be hit, provided that there's an API key. Now this API key, what it does is going to do trial and cache. Inside the cache, we know we are using Sentry. I made a video about Sentry. It will help us to cache any errors or crashes or bugs or exceptions, all of that, right? If something's wrong inside the try. So in here, I'm checking, is the API key coming? Is it not the same as the one? Then it will say you are not authorized to access this resource. For example, if I do this right now and say try out and type into me, Clady, and then hit execute. What does it say? There we go. The server response, it's fine. It says you're not authorized to access this resource. It knows, right? There we go. So this guy will be triggered, right? So, but if it was correct, it's going to skip this guy to say, okay, what you provide is correct. Then it's going to hit these two guys. I did them separately. So there is a service. Like I said, this is a very, very long feature, but I want you to follow step by step. In the next video, I'm going to rectify this thing of making sure that MVC, it's calling with this guy, it's calling the local, you see this address? It's calling this guy locally. That's the only way we can debug from MVC to Web API, because I like to teach the correct stuff. So I'll fix that in the next part. Good. But just to recap this guy, right? We do have a service. It's called login service. It has these methods, check trials and check subscriptions, right? So that's what's going to happen. After the API key has been successfully authenticated, it's going to land in these guys. This is the guy that will say we're going to check. And then before I close this session, I just want to show you what this is. Let's go to services, V1, identity, login. You see the interface. It has all these methods, including check trials and check subscriptions, right? The one I'm interested in is the code behind inside those. You see check trials. This is what we're going to study. It's a solution. And I'm going to break this guy. Subscriptions, it's a complicated one because this one is a lot. And then this one is very powerful because it also has to do with the swapping the roles. Listen, I can teach you all of this for 25 Rand per session for a full hour on Microsoft Teams any day from Monday to Friday. 25 Rand. I can show you all of this. Anything that you want to learn. Until next time.